Hi guys, welcome to the Basics of Microsoft Excel tutorial. In this introductory session, I'll be showing you most of the basics that you'll need to know in order to get started with Microsoft Excel. This page appears when you run Microsoft Excel application. Here you can see some ready-made templates that Microsoft provides, like take a tour. Well, here it will tell you about how to get started with the Microsoft Excel. I'll not go into the details of that because that's why I've made this video. And then you have some ready-made templates like evergreen calendar, somebody's project chart, etc., etc. You can make a choice to select a template based on what exactly you want to do. However, it is best to start from a blank workbook page if you really want to understand Microsoft Excel thoroughly and master it. And that's what I'm going to do, and I'll start an open workbook page. I'm using Microsoft Excel version 2016. You need not necessarily have the same version. Even if you have some older version or some newer version, basics will remain the same. There'll be some differences here and there, minor differences, and I'm sure once you go through the whole course, you'll be able to adjust to those changes and make a way around it. So those are not something very important. They're very basics. So once I open the blank workbook page, this is what you get. We will understand various part of this page. Now you see the top of the page, it's known as menu bar, and let it load properly. I'm sorry, I'm using the cloud version of Microsoft Excel. So on the top, you can see a menu bar which has got tabs like File, Home, Insert, Formula, View, Review, Data, etc., etc. Now, those are the commands, those are the tabs which have got a group of commands that you can utilize to manipulate data or enter data or format the data. Now, for example, if I click on tab File, it'll give me an option of opening a new document, opening an existing document, print, save the document, etc., etc. Similarly, if you click on tab Insert, you'll get various set of commands. Now, when you click on these tabs, there'll be slightly a bigger bar which comes just below that. That bar is known as ribbon, and ribbon is nothing but an area where all the commands are shown when you click on a particular tab. Don't worry too much about this and don't get confused, because that's why I've made this tutorial, and I'll be explaining all these tabs and commands and their functionalities later in the subsequent modules and subsequent sessions. Now, once we have understood the concept of menu bar, tabs, and ribbon area, which contains all the basic commands used to format our data, give proper functions, etc., etc., we will come back to actual work area. See, this is the working area, which you can see is made of columns and rows. Now, I have selected one of the cells which is nothing but an intersection of a column, that is D, and row, which is 4, and the intersection is known as the cell. And beauty of the cell is that although it contains data, but it can be given a name. So it is column D, row 4. So name of this cell will be D4. Why it is so important to give a name to the cell? Well, we'll come to know about it in the subsequent sessions. Now you just understand that you can give a name to the cell. Not only to the cell, but to a group of cells as well. Here, I have created a range of cells which can be known as a group of cells. So it can be named as the top left corner cell is, in this case, E5, and the right bottom corner cell is H11. So this group of cells will be named as E5 colon H11. So even a name can be given to the group of cells. So that's what you need to understand now, and we'll take up something else in the subsequent session. So let us continue. Now, just to give you an overall idea, this document that you have opened, this is known as work group. Now within each work group, there are sheets which you can see in the lower left side of the screen, where I am taking my cursor, sheet 1, sheet 2, and you can keep on adding sheets. They are nothing but a workbook is something like a chapter, and within chapter you are having sub chapters. Like you have a main project, and that consists of a couple of modules. Those modules will become sheet 1 and sheet 2. Now, let us do some real work and enter some data and see how it looks like in Excel sheets. Let us take an example. Suppose you are a shop owner and you want to have you want to maintain the stock inventory of all the items in your shop. So let us do some kind of a data entry for your shop. So let us first give a heading, say stock inventory. Number 2 is now within your stock inventory you will have some kind of various items. So we'll call it items, column 1, column 2. Okay, maybe you want to know date purchased. Third, maybe quantity, price, and then tax, that is GST. Now, you know the overall structure, what you want to do. Now let us do some data entry. Now under items, say toothpaste. You purchase some toothpaste on say 20th January. Quantity, say you purchase 34 numbers. Price was $5.5 each, and I am taking some random numbers as say $0.12 is the GST. You can calculate for your country whatever GST is there. Interestingly, later on in the chapters or modules, I'll show you how these things can be automated, how you can use Excel to automate your GST calculations and total amount of all the items. It really becomes very easy. Anyway, that we'll see in later modules. Second is, say, soap. You again purchase on 20/01/2020. You purchase 12 numbers, say $2.5, $4 each, and the GST is 0.05. Then what else I can think of? Toothpaste, soap. What else are sold in these kind of shops? Say body lotion. Body lotion. You purchase on 05/01/2020. Quantity was 2. Price was $6.5, and the GST was 0.17. Now, this is your raw data entry. Now let us make it more presentable. Now this is your main heading. What you can do is you can make it bold, you can make it italics, you can underline. Then you didn't like your main heading as italics, bring it back to normal. You can change the color, say red color, and you can even change the color of the cell. Various options are there and you can utilize them all. You can change the size of the character, say 14. It has increased. You can change the font type if you don't like this font. It has become like this. So anyway, let us bring it all to normal. This will turn it black. Remove the bold. And what else? Yeah, underline, remove. So you can see how effectively you can make your table more presentable. This is not all. What you can do is, suppose the main heading, you want to bring it in the center. So what you can do is select all the columns that you are using. Come here and you see one command as merge and center. Click it and see what happens. You saw a bit of delay. Ignore it because I'm using my Microsoft Excel in the cloud. So there is a small delay and my internet speed is not that good at the moment. But when you are having Excel on your computer, that delay will not be there. Even if you are using Microsoft Excel in the cloud, you can deal with that delay. But let us see what has happened here. It has merged all these columns, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns it has converted into one column. Now, let us come to the second one. Now, these headings are representing each column. So you have got items, You have got date purchased. You have got quantity. So now you can do the same thing here. You can make them bold or you can make them italics, etc. But if you want to do, there is a shortcut. If you select the whole row and then just say bold. So instead of doing them individually, you can make all the columns heading in one shot to save time. Another thing is, you see that there is a space in date purchased. It looks as if the column width is a bit less. Now either you can take the cursor here, increase it. See, it has become now better looking now. But if there are more rows which are having varying kind of lengths, there is a better way of doing it. See, suppose it has become like this. Take the cursor, select this whole column, take the cursor here, double click it, and it will adjust according to the data that you have there in those cells. Similarly, there is another way you can do it faster. You can select all the columns together, bring your cursor in any of the middle of the two rows, in any one of them, and double click it. See, they adjusted automatically based on the width required for each column. Okay, now that is done. Now, I just saw, or I deliberately did it, I don't know. In body lotion, there is a spelling mistake. And if I go to change that, I do anything, oh, the whole thing goes away. Because body lotion as a word was a part of the cell. Excel doesn't know that you want to change the data or you want to change the spelling. It just overwrote on the previous data. So let us do it again. Say this is a mistake in the spelling. I go there, select this, double click it, and once the cursor becomes like this, you bring it here, change it, and here you go. So this is how you do data entry in Excel. I hope you all understood it. And this is the end of first module. And sit tight. We are having some very useful modules coming to you. And I hope they'll be all very useful. So, looking forward to seeing you in module 2. Well guys, welcome to module 2 of Excel tutorials. In module 1, we discussed about general data entry and creating headings, formatting headings, etc., etc. Now you have got a basic feel of Excel spreadsheet. Now we'll go ahead in module 2 where we will learn some more facts about Excel sheets. Now We did some formatting of the headings in module 1. Now we'll start here with the conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is nothing but showing any data in a pictorial way. Once I show you, it will be self-explanatory. For example, here, let us select the quantity column. So I have selected quantity column. On the menu bar, select Home tab and then click on Conditional Formatting. Many options are available. I'm going to show you one. You can experiment with others. They are very simple. Now I'll go to color scales. In color scales, if you see, many colors are available, but I'll select the first one where top one is the green and the bottom row is red. I will show you what it means. So I'll select this. Now, here as you see, the maximum number of quantity is shown in green color. The smallest number is shown in red color. In between, whatever numbers are there will be shown in various shades between red and green. So this becomes quite important once you want to see the status of your stock in a very, very general way. Don't want to go and see the quantities. Just want to see, okay, which ones I'm having enough, which one I need to order. So you just see, okay, all the green ones I have to, I don't have to act because enough numbers are there. But the red ones, yes, I need to place order for that. So that is the reason why this conditional formatting plays an important role in showing the columns. I'll clear that now. If you've got any questions on that, just write in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer you on that. Okay, next is the very important aspect of Excel sheets. That is calculations and formulae. Suppose at any given time you want to know how much stock you are having and what is the value of your stock. Now here the prices are given. Now here, instead of adding it using a calculator, you can just say equal to sum bracket, select the row from where you want the data to be added, and then just drag it along wherever you want. So simple. Hit enter. And here you go. Total stock you are having is worth $39.4. Isn't it that simple? Okay, now I will show you something more interesting. See, earlier when I was writing on the GST column, I told you that I'm just writing some random numbers, which doesn't have any sense. You have got your pricing, you should be able to calculate GST. Now, suppose your country has a GST percentage of 15%. So that means if you multiply your price with 0.15, you'll get the GST value. That is very simple to do here. Now, we'll do the same thing. Equal to, and in Excel, not only in Excel, even in English, when you multiply two values, it is known as product. So we'll just try PR and suggestions will come. Just double click on product. Then click the column which you want to get the GST for. So here it is, price is 6.5. So I selected this cell. E3 has come because the name of this cell is E and 3. Then I just put comma and 0.15. Enter. So your GST amount has come automatically. Now you must be thinking whether I have to do the same thing for each column. No, that is not required. You select the column for which you have found the GST, right click there, copy, select the rows for which you want to calculate the GST, right click again. Now, in the paste option, first paste is the normal paste. Second one is the values, that is, it will just copy and paste whatever value is there in that cell. You don't require that. Third one is the formula. So we'll select the formula and see what happens. Now you have got the GST value of each and every item that you have in your stock. Now the final thing, this is also very obvious, but I'm just programming your mind in such a way that how you can use Excel effectively. Now you have got the GST automatically calculated. You have got your price. Now you need to know your selling price. So selling price is what? Price plus GST. So here what we will do is equal to sum bracket, select the cell, it has already come, comma, select the GST cell, that will automatically come there, close the bracket and say enter. So that is your selling price, 7.475. Now you want to do it for all the items. Right click, copy, select all the items, right click, paste, look for the formula, which is the third one, formula. Isn't it great? You have got the selling price within seconds. You calculated your GST within seconds. So that's the power of Excel sheets. Now, next thing what we will be considering is Autofill Handless. That is something, it makes your life easy. Like in the previous table that we have created in the first module, I have added one serial number in that just to show you some more features related to autofill. Now, suppose I select serial number 2 and take your cursors to the right bottom corner of the cell till it becomes into a plus sign,
and drag it down, what will happen is it will copy that data into all these cells, which we don't want. I just wanted to show how it works. Now, if you want to fill the serial numbers, select number 1, drag it number 2. Now these two cells are selected. Take your cursor to the bottom right corner till the plus sign comes. Pull it down. So, what has happened, guys, is the Excel understands certain patterns. Once we showed it 1, 2, selected both the cells and dragged it further, it read the pattern and put that pattern to create more data for the remaining cells. So it found that, okay, there's a difference between 1 and 2 of number 1. So it just went on creating 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's a very cool feature of Excel. Now, same thing is true with date. In date, you don't even have to create a pattern. Say 6/1/2020. Take the cursor here, bring it down. It may not be useful for this particular table, but you see, it has created dates one after another. Same thing is true for if you have written Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you drag it, it will continue with Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and so on. Then we will go for something which is known as sorting. Now we will go to Data tab, and there you can find sort ascending, sort descending. Now suppose I have selected the column quantity. I just say suppose sort ascending. Now expand your selection. What it is telling is that if we just sort the quantity, your data will go haywire because it will just sort this column. So it is asking whether I should expand and sort. So I will say yes, expand and sort. See, what has happened is each row which had the maximum quantity has come in the bottom. The minimum quantity has gone on the top. Similarly, you can do sorting in descending order, or you can custom sort. When I click on custom sort, it gives me various options, like which column you want to sort. I can say price this time, ascending or descending. I say ascending. Now, it has done the sorting this time on the basis of price. The costliest item is in the bottom. Okay, continuing further in this session, I have opened another sheet where the number of data compared to the earlier sheet has gone too much. So if you see, it is how many? It is having almost 63 rows. Now, why I did that was I wanted to show you something what is known as freeze panes. Here, if you see, there is a heading, stock inventory, Hill Street, whatever be the heading, doesn't really matter. And then there are subheadings like items, date purchased, quantity, etc., etc. When you are doing data entry or adding data, it becomes difficult because as you go further down, you see the heading has gone outside the page. Now you are not able to see where is what is the meaning of this row, what is the meaning of this column, etc. So there is something known as freeze pane, as I told you. So our data starts at row number 3. We'll select that. We will go to tab view, and in the middle, if you see, there is something known as freeze panes. If I select that and select on freeze panes again in the submenu, see what happens. Okay, now here we have asked it to freeze panes. Now if I go further down, you are seeing the difference. I am going down further and the subheadings and the main headings remain there wherever it was. So it doesn't change. So it becomes slightly easier when you go down further in the rows and keep entering your data. Your headings remains always on the top. So that is one thing which is very important when you are dealing with too many number of rows. And yeah, we have almost come to the end of module 2. And before I go further, before I end the session, I would like to tell you that in the further coming modules, we'll discuss various other functions, calculations, formatting. But now you have got the basic idea how the whole thing works. The way I used function for adding up the rows, multiplying two data in two columns, doing all those various things, conditional formatting. What I would suggest is that you open a new document and start entering some data and try to be a bit curious to use as many functions as possible. Don't worry if you get it wrong, because I'm anyway going to cover in the next modules. Many more functions will be covering. But what I mean is that you start trying to use those functionality by yourself also. So that will give you a good kick start. And if you fail in that, no problem. You can always put your queries in the comment section of this module, and I'll try to come back to you as soon as possible and sort out your queries. Thank you.